talked a little bit just about how you're coming to reflect on these things and how you're being impacted and learning, and how you want to be an ally. If we take a step back and look at Habitat as a whole, how is Habitat learning within this whole situation and recommitting themselves to this mission of reaching that community that has often been unreached as much?
Yeah, so we're doing it both at the national level. So our national office is down in Atlanta. So we're doing it on a national level, and also here in the Twin Cities on the local level. So what we're doing is we're bringing people of color in to do workshops and to teach us just exactly what is it that's been going on and how can we make changes, whether it's just hiring people of color or getting them to volunteer. We need to be more engaged in our communities, especially in communities that have been marginalized and historically oppressed. We need to be more engaged with them and know that it's not on their all about what they need to do. It's we're in the majority in terms of numbers of people. We need to step up and lock arms with them and say, hey, we're here to help. We want to make changes. And sometimes it's really confessing that we've been a passive participant in some of this, and that's not to guilt people. It's just to say, we haven't understood fully what's been going on because we've been kind of disengaged and kind of doing our own thing. But I think it's important, especially for those who have Christian values and take Jesus as their example, to follow his lead. He sacrificed everything for us, and it's important that we sacrifice and serve our communities and show the light and life that's in him. And I've chosen that in one way through Habitat for Humanity.
It's really wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
As you're going through this, and as we're making progress, and whether it's Age Well at Home or just Habitat for Humanity in general, Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity in general, how have you personally been encouraged or discouraged in just the progress being made so far, for your program specifically or the wider?
Yeah. I think the discouragement is to realize just how big the disparities are between whites and people of color. I mean, there's such a huge need. But I'm encouraged by so many people I've seen step up and they want to help. They just want to understand, because part of it is just understanding where you're coming from, where you'd like to go, and how you can make an impact. Because I think people are looking to make an impact in their communities, have more purpose and meaning to life, and this is a way that they can do it. And so I'm encouraged by those in our communities who are stepping up to help.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And people are stepping up to help in a variety of ways with Habitat for Humanity, whether that's home building or being an advocate or educating yourself. If you could say I don't know if you can do this, if you could say, like, if there was one way that you wanted to speak to everyone, say, here's our biggest need going forward, is that something that you can pinpoint? Is that something that...
Probably a couple of things.
Okay.
Number one, I'd say educate yourself on affordable housing and what it means to be a just and equitable person in this area. And the other thing is, because of the pandemic, we need a lot of volunteers. I don't know, a lot of people just aren't comfortable yet coming out on site, but we practice really safe protocols. So you'll if you come out, you'll wear a mask. You keep socially distant, but you can still make an impact. So I think those are two things that you can do. And you know, if you go to our website, tchabitat.org,
Mhm.
you can get a lot of information about educating yourself, about volunteering, a variety of ways of supporting habitat and affordable housing.
That sounds like a great plan to me. Last, but certainly not least, actually, it probably is least. One last final question. Who's your favorite son?
Oh, well, I don't, you know, if someone was, you know, going to put me on the spot,
Yeah.
I would have to say, Louis.
Louis. Huey, Dewey. So Louis would be the youngest, which means me?
Well, you could say that, or you could say it's more of a band of brothers.
Oh.
Huey, Louie, and Dewey.
You see, I thought I was going to be able to get him on camera saying that I'm his favorite son, but it didn't work as well as I'd hoped.
Yeah, I have 3 favorite sons,
You have 3 favorite sons.
and
Okay.
you are one of them. How's that?
I'll always take that. Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me and chatting about Habitat for Humanity and the impact both Age Well at Home is making in the community, as well as Habitat for Humanity as a whole, and how we can get involved and come alongside.
Good to be here, Connor. I love what you're doing.
Appreciate it.